uh, about the Lord crying and all. I wrote a song about it, but I, I had somebody die, and I always been around Christians. You know, when they die, you almost have a party. I mean, you hate it that their family has to do it that, but you know how we are. We just love and hug and laugh and. But somebody died. Well, it was actually my mother's. My mother passed away, but um, she was a good Christian lady, but her husband wasn't. He was kind of like tried to be, but he just didn't have God. And so, he didn't want us around. He'd become a hermit. He did evil things. So when he died, he actually fell through the door and hit his head on a stereo and died halfway in the house and halfway out. Well, when we found out, when somebody told me, I just went ballistic. My spirit went ballistic. And I thought, wonder why he didn't even like me and we didn't, what's wrong with me? And the Lord was crying. He was crying through me so hard. And I thought, and everybody said, why are you acting this way over him? You didn't never really care about him. I said, but you know what? It's the Lord. The Lord is crying through me, and I can feel it, and I couldn't stand the thought of him going to hell. But as far as my spirit was concerned, that's where he went. And, a lot of people say, you don't know, that last breath, you don't know what takes place. But I knew. My heart was broke, and it wasn't mine because I didn't even really care about him that much. I was just sad. But then my sister and I went to my stepmother's funeral, and we tried to witness to her so many times. And we both walked up to the casket, and we both were knocked back, both of us at the same time. She looked like she had been dead for a year or two and pulled up and put in that casket. It was hell. And I mean, she was 38 years old at the time. We were just young. And when we both walked up, something knocked us back. And my sister and I looked at each other. She said, I'm not going back up there. I said, me neither. That was very, very, very strange. And but this other time, when I really felt God just tormented, I had a boss at Skyline, and she was the most hatefulest, bitterest, evil little person. And so I would be myself and talk about, oh, Jesus did this. Well, I get sick and tired of hearing about Jesus, and this kind of stuff. And so my son actually wound up marrying her daughter. And he comes in, and I was sitting on the couch. He comes in, he said, Mother, he said, guess who died last night? And he said, Sandy. I screamed at the top of my lungs. I mean, screamed. I knew that she didn't like hearing about Jesus, but when I screamed, it was from the depths of God's heart. It truly was. And I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I said, Lord, why am I crying for Sandy? I don't understand. And it's like he said, it's breaking his heart. It was his spirit in me that was grieving for his lost children.